The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone. So I've done a few videos on my fitness journey, weight loss and weight training, and some of you have asked me for my tips regarding food, what to eat to lose weight. So here are my top 5 tips. Number 1, I think the thing that you need the most is not any particular diet, a special container, a book, or exercise equipment. Number 1, you need patience. Whatever weight you gained, you didn't gain it overnight. So it's gonna take some time to lose it, and that's okay. And it's really important that you be okay with that, because trying to rush the process is a recipe for disaster in many different ways. Number 2, make sure you eat enough. I know you're thinking, oh, well, I want to lose weight, so I got to make sure I don't eat too much. But make sure you eat enough. Because the number 1 thing you don't want to do if you're losing weight is ruin your metabolism. You need a certain amount of energy in the form of calories per day. If you go too far below that, your body's going to react by saying, hey, there's a famine, I'm starving. And what it's going to do is it's going to adjust your metabolism so you don't die of starvation. So it's going to lower your metabolism, your daily amount of calories that you require. So let's say you starve yourself to the weight that you want. It's going to be very hard to maintain that, because now your daily requirements are lower than they were before. It's going to be very easy to gain the weight back. Number 3, know your basic metabolic rate. Know approximately how many calories you need per day. So your BMR is how much energy you will expend just basically by doing nothing. There are BMR calculators available online. I don't place a lot of importance on knowing the exact numbers. You need to know roughly what's your BMR. As you adjust your eating and your exercise, you're going to see how's it going. You need to burn off 3,500 calories to lose a pound, or take in 3,500 calories to gain 1 pound. So that amounts to 500 calories per day. So you can tell by your progress roughly how much you need to tweak it. So it doesn't have to be rocket science. If you're losing a quarter pound a week, which by the way is fine, but you want to push it up to a half a pound, maybe I need to eat just like 100 calories less, and maybe take an extra walk and expend an extra 100 calories. It's just little tweaking like that you will figure out down the road, depending on what kind of results you're seeing. You need to know roughly what you're dealing with, what your requirements are, what you're putting out, roughly what's in your food, but don't obsess about it. Just get a rough idea. Number 4, know your trigger foods. I consider this to be very important. If you have trigger foods that are going to trigger you to binge, I find personally it's best to avoid them completely. Wheat I get rid of completely, sugar I really keep to a minimum. And I find that after an initial sort of detox, you get used to it and you don't crave it anymore. What I did to get rid of the wheat was I switched to gluten-free bread and pasta. And as time went on, because I was on gluten-free, I was craving it less, and then I started to decrease the amount of gluten-free carbs that I was taking in, and now it's maybe like a couple of slices of bread a day. You probably have different trigger foods, but whatever they are, figure out what they are and figure out how to slowly ease them out of your life, or in the case of wheat, replace them with something else. In terms of what to eat, I would say go for as whole, natural, and high nutrition as possible. So how to do this? Number 5, make small changes. Because if you do something that's too radical, that you don't feel comfortable with, it's going to be hard to sustain that. It's going to be hard to make that work. So you got to kind of look at what you're doing right now and say, what could I tackle? Like, let's say you're addicted to soda. I used to be addicted to soda, addicted to the fizzy. Take your soda, cut it half with seltzer or something like that. Like, I'm talking really small changes. If you're hooked on juice, start cutting your juice down with some water. I mean, that's a really small change, but over time, that juice gets more watered down. You're going to lose your taste for it. Eventually, you're just drinking water, or like water with a tiny bit of flavoring in it. Make little adjustments. And once one of them is become a habit, go for another one. And just keep slowly doing it. Like I said, number 1 is to have patience. So have patience for reorganizing your eating habits. So you just got to make little adjustments, and just give yourself time and be patient. And whatever you do, don't go on any kind of diet. And don't rush yourself. because this is for long haul, and think of it as trying to improve your health, not I'm so fat I need to lose weight, but let's see what I can do to tweak my eating habits so that I feel better, and over time it'll happen. I started this in like November and we're now in August. I've lost about 10 pounds. But I'd say that that's a good pace because I probably won't gain it back. So I hope this is helpful to you, and I wish you all the best with your efforts. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.